Kento had always followed the rules. He tied his shoes the same way every day, took the same path to school, ate quietly, spoke only when spoken to, thought before speaking, and then usually didn't speak. His parents called him a good boy. His teachers called him disciplined. But inside, Kento felt quiet in the wrong places. He didn't know how to explain it. Just that something about the way he lived felt borrowed, like he was wearing clothes that didn't quite fit, but was too polite to take them off. And then one day, something small happened that changed everything. That day at school, the teacher handed out a worksheet. Simple drawings, circles, squares, lines. "Draw the rest of the picture," she said. "Use your imagination." Kento stared at the page. He waited for more instructions. Where to begin, how big to draw, if he needed to use a pencil or a pen. None came. Around him, other students began sketching wildly. Dragons from circles, castles from squares, trees sprouting from triangles. Kento's hand stayed still. His mind, empty. No one had ever told him how to imagine, only what not to do. And now, with full freedom, he was frozen. That night, Kento sat on the porch steps, holding the worksheet. It was blank. His teacher hadn't said anything. Just a quiet look, then moved on. But that blank page said more than any grade ever could. He turned it over. On the back, his pencil had pressed faint lines. He had started to draw something, then stopped. A sun, half finished. A path, but no footsteps. It looked like how he felt, like something was almost there, but never allowed to fully arrive. Kento wondered, what if the rules he followed weren't there to protect him? What if they were there to shape him into someone else? If this light speaks to something inside you, subscribe and ring the bell. Maybe it's time to stop hiding your own. The next morning, Kento did something he'd never done before. He walked a different way to school. Just one turn off his usual route. Nothing dramatic, just a street with trees instead of fences, leaves instead of traffic signs. No one noticed. No one stopped him. But with each step, the air felt lighter, like it didn't expect anything from him. At lunch, instead of sitting in his usual spot by the window, he sat beneath the tree in the courtyard. And for the first time, he opened the back of his notebook, not the front, and began to draw. Not carefully, not perfectly, just freely. By the end of the week, Kento had filled 5 pages. No lines, no rules, no structure. Just moments. Trees with eyes, clouds that whispered, roads that bent toward the sky. He didn't show anyone. Not yet. But something inside him had changed. He spoke a little louder in class, raised his hand, even when unsure, laughed once, out loud. It wasn't rebellion. It wasn't anger. It was space. And in that space, the real Kento, quiet, curious, alive, began to breathe. One evening, Kento returned to that same tree in the courtyard. He pulled out his notebook, not the front, not the back, just somewhere in the middle, and drew a door, not a perfect one, not fancy, just a door, open. He stared at it for a long time, because he knew now the hardest doors to walk through are the ones built from things we were taught to believe. Not because they're locked, but because we never think to try the handle. What belief have you carried your whole life that maybe, just maybe, isn't yours to keep anymore?